And let's go from one flop era to another. And let's talk about Justin Timberlake. So I was putting this show together, right? And then all of a sudden I was scrolling and I came across this story. I was like, I need to add this to the docket. And it was good because it kind of flows within the last topic we talked about. So, like J-Lo in North America, it looks like Justin Timberlake is struggling to get the Brits to purchase tickets for his upcoming tour. Now, shout out to Metro for this story because you know that's a British publication. Justin's comeback hasn't had the earth shattering impact it was probably hoping for, as not only are his album sales low, but his tour isn't exactly a sellout. The Crimea River hitmaker 43 returns to the UK and Europe this summer for a string of dates, including 2 August shows at London's O2 Arena. However, the US star is struggling to ship tickets, with Ticketmaster's seating plan showing a whole load still available. I'm going to show y'all a picture in a second. And once I finish the article. But it says for Justin Manchester's show on August 8th, the map shows the majority of the venue still in blue, including sections near to the stage. Thankfully, more tickets have been sold for Justin's Birmingham gig, but there are currently still full blocks available. As for his dates at the capital city, JT still has some promo to do if he wants to fill at max capacity. It comes as Justin's new album also flops because, well, early charting figures aren't glittering. Now, last Friday, March 15th, Justin returned with his first album in half a decade, Everything I Thought It Was. While critics' reviews were mixed, sales did initially pick up on iTunes. As for streaming platforms like Spotify, though, it's a different story. In fact, its opening day performance is not really that great at all. Of the 200 most streamed songs on Spotify that Friday in the United States alone, not one of them came from Everything I Thought It Was. Whereas, if we talk about Shakira, all of her songs on that album have charted. Just point that out there. And I was gonna say they came out around the same time, but actually it didn't. I think his album came out a week before hers. So it's that not even the lead single "Selfish" or "Follow Up to Drown" ranked. Well, remember when "Selfish" came out, didn't Britney's petty fans? Shout out to y'all! Shout out to the Britney Army. Didn't her petty fans go and post something or another like "Let's get selfish" trending? Her song that wasn't even a single, and that was a good damn song too. I never understood why they never released that from Femme Fatale. But I remember I joined in on it because I'm petty, just as petty. You know, I'm Team Britney all the way, and Team Janet. So meanwhile, Down Under, Everything I Thought It Was arrived on the charts at number 23. Now at this, this is what I say about the whole thing. I just think that at this point, JT needs to reunite with, you know, his old band. Hold on, because I'm gonna actually pull up the thing so that way y'all can see what it looked like. So y'all can look here and see that all the blue that y'all see up in here, that basically means that these are seats and stuff that's available. And this is the stages right here. So there's a lot of spots around the area that needs to be filled if he's trying to make any kind of situation happen in, where he's at. But well, this is why I said at this point, you either stop edging your fans, stop playing with their emotions, and stop always trotting out in sync when you want to go viral or you want to have a moment, and really think about reuniting with them for a tour. Either go and do a NSYNC tour. Look, New Kids on the Block got a new album coming out, and they're going to be touring with it. Although I did hear that there's a new play out that I've heard is going to be coming to New York. It was that it had its big premiere in LA. I think it's called Drag or something or another, and Alaska's in it. A bunch of other people. Joey McIntyre. The reason why I bring it up is because Joey McIntyre is in it, and it's about like rival drag teams or something or another. My friend didn't really give me the whole judge of what it's about, but he told me it's like a little musical. He even told me Mario Lopez was there. And I'm like, Mario Lopez, who got an issue with trans people, was at a show about drag queens? Where they do that at? And supports Trump? But anyway, so back to JT. He's struggling out here. He's on the struggle bus in regards to the whole touring situation. And we already know like the reason why he's struggling. And I've been said this from the beginning. I was like, are people really looking forward to a Justin Timberlake album? I don't really know if people was out here really looking forward to a Justin Timberlake album. I just feel like a lot of times where he's said and done things to people in the past and kind of trying to play up this whole, dick role where he wants to be an a-hole. That was cute or whatever when you was young. When you was in your 20s and 30s, and you could play like, oh, I'm so naive and I made mistakes and I didn't know no better. There was all wrapped up in charm and all this stuff. Even though you're a marginally talented singer, you're an okay dancer. Like when you had that moment where people was making fun of you because that little dance you was trying to do and trying to blame it on your shoes and your pants. It's like, it don't matter what pants or shoes you got on. If you got it, you gonna dance and whatever you got on, regardless, and make it work. So maybe the mayonnaise Americans that you was pandering to could believe that bullshit. But those of us out here that actually be, who could drop that kitty down low at a moment's notice, we know the gig. So between that, between the Janet stuff, the Britney stuff, when Britney went and was like being an apologist because she, you was getting trolled on all this other stuff, and then he goes and says, I don't have to apologize to absolutely nobody. You playing it up. I told you all that stuff is similar to Jennifer Lopez. Back in the day, the stuff you could get away with, you can't get away with that now. People are gonna hold your feet to the fire. They're gonna hold you accountable for the things that you say and the things you do, and you can't be doing that out here with people. So I think that played into it. Also, I knew ever since that memoir came out from her, they were saying that he was worried a little bit over the way that album, how people were going to perceive the album. He was worried about the album rollout, that people were going to really support it, whatever the case is. So he was a little nervous about that. The album comes out, still mediocre numbers. We'll see how well the tour does on the North American side, the American side. In the US, I'm sure the tour will do really well. But I've always been curious as to, like, my European people, my overseas fans, the European fans, the Brit fans. Is there an audience out there that cares for Justin Timberlake? Does his vibe, does his style of music, does all that stuff register overseas versus in America? Like, there's artists who are bigger overseas than they are in America, and then there's artists who are bigger in America than they are overseas. Then there's artists who can do both. That no matter where they go, they're just popping everywhere. And to me, Justin's always given me that he's so all American. Like, he just gives me like, you can only sell out America, but when you go overseas, you're gonna have to do smaller venues. So I feel like at this point, because he's another one that always takes long gaps, like long breaks before he releases a record. Y'all can't be doing that whole, I'm gonna wait 5 years to release an album. Y'all can't be doing that. Like, the fans, they move on. Like, at this point, Justin's fans probably all got kids, families, that sort of thing. And in fact, although I was recently at the Fall Out Boy concert, there was a lot of young people there. Like, I grew up with Fall Out Boy. And might I say, Pete Wentz, I did not realize how long his hair was until until he was playing, when he recently performed. I think it was Friday. And I did not realize, like, his hair is down at his shoulders. It was blown out, the hair was blowing in the wind and whatever, because they had the Viva fan on. He was giving Beyonce with the hair flowing. But and playing his bass, and also even at one point came out in the crowd and started playing the music and stuff. And I knew he was gonna be walking around because we were warned about that. But I think that, you know what, even there are generations of people that listen to his music. There's the parent, the people that grew up with NSYNC and all this stuff, and Justin listened to his music in the 2000s. Now they've got husbands and kids and all this other stuff, and maybe their kids, because the mother played the music around the house or whatever, the kids are aware. So I'm sure that's the demographic that's listening to him. But overall, people kind of looking at him like, okay, even though you're in your early 40s, you're an old crow, you're kind of weathered. Like, you're not someone like a Beyonce or Taylor. Like, even Taylor Swift's almost pushing 40. And they don't still have their finger on the pulse of the older and the younger generation, even though I think Justin's probably the women that listen to his music, they have kids and they'll probably go because of their mother, whatever. Because I remember when I was at the Fall Out Boy concert, I saw a mother there with her two sons, and I seen a mother there with her daughter. So it was a mixture. It was a mixture of people. So it'll be curious to see, like, when his tour comes around, the type of demographic he's going to have here. And who knows, I might be working that concert. So I will let y'all know the demo and the audience and what I saw when I was there and all the other stuff when that comes around. But yeah. So why do y'all think that his tickets ain't selling? Let me know down in the comments below.